Hey my friends, welcome back to our paradise and thanks for popping over to see me today. If this is your first time tapping into my channel, let me give you a quick recap. 2 years ago, my man, our daughter and myself left our so-called normal and established life in Ontario, Canada, for a life we always chatted about during morning coffee, fast-tracking our retirement plans, chasing our dreams, risking our future in the race against old age. We purchased 7 unseen off-grid acres in the wilderness of Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia. We downsized everything we owned, loaded up a trailer, our dog, 2 cats, an ATV, and hauled them to our new land. We knew for sure that our life was about to make a drastic change, but what we didn't know was that we were relocating to the most gorgeous place we'd ever seen. We took a chance and it was worth it. Join us as we navigate our new RV lifestyle, new climate, new landscape, new wildlife, building a world we dreamed of in a place only seen in postcards from the ground up. Thanks for visiting, and subscribe to my channel if you would enjoy the content of a 40-something gal running away into the woods with her family. Well, my friends, here we are, nearing the end of May already. Things are really blossoming out, and it always happens so fast, doesn't it? It's like I go to bed one night, and the landscape is bare, and I wake up the next day to a thriving, fresh new view. It's the start of the Victoria Day long weekend, and I had a little work on Saturday, and my man and our daughter took a little road trip to the big town for my daughter's hair appointment. They both enjoyed a taste of civilization, and on Sunday, it was nice to wake up without any pressing agendas, just a slow coffee time and a stroll down to the deep freezer, because what's a long weekend without bacon? There was only one task that Mooch and I really wanted to tackle at home this weekend, and that's our Lakeside Hill cleanup project. It's a big job and one that we'll be plucking away at for a long while, I think. Probably another couple years yet before it's fully finished. Every chance we can, we like to slip down and pluck away at it for a couple of hours, little by little and inch by inch. It's becoming the lakefront we have dreamed it to be. I mean, it's already magical, but once it's cleaned up, it will be extra magical. And what a place to work, eh? Sure beats the dark and dreary mortuary. And speaking of mortuary, I haven't forgot about my beloved diary followers. Don't worry, my dears. A new chapter of An Undertaker's Diaries is coming soon, and it will be a special 1-hour edition. And it really gets to the heart of my story, so stay tuned for that. Not being much of a help, am I?
Woo! Yeah, the fish are jumping and I'm working.
Man friend and I make a pretty good team when it comes to landscaping. His job is to make a mess cutting things down, and my job is to clean the mess up. And this job was extra fun because we've been actually wanting to get to this section for a long while. Minute by minute, I was shedding the layers.
The get right in your ears and your eye.
Talking myself.
When the sage brings the rite of spring, morning dove and the sparrows sing, through the light that the sun will bring, reborn. Flocks are creeping on the wall, swallowtail heeds the northern call, and the last of the frost will thaw, reborn. In the warm of the spring, I recall everything once more. Across the plain, red-winged blackbirds soft refrain, reborn. In the warm of the spring, I'll call everything once more. Is home at last. Every leaf, every blade of grass, reborn. In the warm of the spring, I recall everything once more. In the light of the sun,
He's so crazy. Oh my god. You're a lunatic. We took a little coffee and snack break, then made our way over to the sanctuary where we cleaned up the last section we've been meaning to get to. And that's about all we have to do for this year down in the sanctuary, other than, of course, maintaining the grass and weed trimming. Such a beautiful place on the land to work also, and I noticed that the plum trees are in full bloom. They're absolutely gorgeous. Something I like to do every long weekend, especially if I work on the Saturday, is that I will give myself an extra day off. I always need like a reset day to run for groceries, to clean, and to catch up on chores and such. With Mooch on the weekend, I was chatting with him about a food project I want to try out. I mentioned I wanted to stockpile easy to bake meals in the freezer. For example, if I make one lasagna, why don't I make 10 lasagnas? And he said, said, if you make one meatloaf, why not 10? And then I said, if I make one shepherd's pie, why not 10? We ended up listing at least 20 different meal ideas to batch freeze, and it got me excited. While I was in town, I saw these containers and I thought, how perfect. Every shape and size and already oven safe. Probably could wash and reuse them a few times too. So, confession, I am still obsessed with checking our water system all day. Every day I check to make sure that the ram pump is still running, and of course it's always a relief to hear that click. And later in this video, I will show you what I do when I don't hear the click. And of course, another thing that I'm still obsessed with is hiking. Tonight we stroll to the waterfall and back, an easy peasy, quiet walk. When home life has been cleaned and reset and the food is stocked and yard and chore work is caught up for another week, there is nothing more relaxing to me at the end of the day than to be showered in fresh pajamas and exploring my trails with my dog at sundown. I know I mentioned I was going to go get some seaweed at the beach this week, but honestly, friends, it has been dang cold over here on the northwest coastline of this island. And I want warm beach time, not cold beach time, so I'm gonna wait another week. I think waterfalls are so beautiful and peaceful. But you know what else is really beautiful is when you go in behind the waterfall. Sometimes it's like the best part. Good girl. Good girl, baby. I love going off the beaten path. Most beautiful place you ever did see. Girl, yeah. So this is what happens when we don't hear the water flowing. Open the door, I already can tell there's a problem because it should be full. I listen. I hear nothing. So I have to go down and check the pump. I can see right away that it's not clicking, and sometimes it just needs a little help. So I'll show you what we do. I wait a few minutes, see that it's clicking fine now, and then I make my way all the way down. Sorry, more like up. All the way up to where the water collects here. And the odd time there is like a leaf or something that is sometimes blocking the flow, and I see that there is a leaf here. There, now that should do it. I'll go up and check the tank to see if the water is dripping in there. And on the way back, we'll just stop at the garden real quick. I haven't really done much since my last video. Daylilies, iris, there's a fuchsia there, garlic. Empty space. This is all going to be vegetables. Peas. There's just a few of them. They haven't all sprouted, but there's just a few over here. Pea, and pea. And for some reason, the others didn't germinate. Oh, there is one here. There's one. They are coming. They just need a little warmth. Are those daffodils? I think these are daffodils. Bleeding heart. Hydrangea is really coming along. And then these ones still have to be planted. I'm getting to that this week. Probably planter boxes all in back in there because the ground is just too rooty. It's full of roots. But I trimmed all around the garden yesterday, all up the driveway, and today is trim the hill, the big lakeside hill. All right, let's see if that did the trick with the water. Better? We are semi-off-grid now, but when we were completely off-grid when we first got here, we would collect our water in these blue barrels, and we would take a submersible water pump, and put it in the river, pump water into these barrels, and then pump the water from these barrels into the RV. And we just used the RV water tank for the first many months. And it would last us about 3 days, and that was having showers, doing dishes, and that sort of thing. You know, it seems very surreal to have lived here long enough to already be looking back in hindsight at the early days. In some regard, it can sometimes feel like we are still on day one. But in reality, we have come a very long way, and we continue to work hard and evolve, which is wonderful. This is the life we dreamed of, and there's no place like home. Now, if you've been following my channel for some time, you may recall a video I put out very early on when we were in active survival mode, and I mentioned that I was feeling a little bit useless. It was during the construction and building phase, and Manfriend was so busy with all the man jobs, which left me so helpless. But I knew my time would eventually come, and it certainly has. One of my jobs is grass trimming, and the more land we clean up, the more land I have to trim. So this job just gets bigger and bigger every year. I cut the grass in stages, rotating through sections of land through the week until the entire property is trimmed. Then I have about 1 or 2 days off from trimming, only to begin the cycle again, and this all happens until the snow falls. It's a lovely outdoor chore that I enjoy doing, and I would not want to be trimming grass anywhere else in the world, so there's that. Thanks for visiting me today, everybody. I hope you're soaking in as much fresh air as possible these days, and I hope you're able to find nature wherever you are in the world. Ciao for now.